For 25 years, New York City has been our home. It has also been our purpose. From the very first day, Redeemer's vision wasn't to build a great church for ourselves, it was to help build a great city. The gospel does that. It advances the common good. It increases philanthropy and mercy and justice. It makes workplaces more humane, art more beautiful, reconciliation more hopeful. The gospel changes lives and culture. The gospel changes everything. Of course, this isn't just the case in New York City, and that's why we created City to City, to develop leaders who will help build gospel movements in cities all over the world. This is why our friend Jay Kyle started traveling to Asia 15 years ago, to bring the vision of gospel-centered church planting and multiplication to the great cities of Asia Pacific. 60% of the world's population lives in Asia Pacific, and increasingly, people are moving to the great cities of that region. And each of these cities has tremendous influence over the culture. So what does this all add up to? It adds up to one big possibility. If a critical mass of people in a city are changed by the gospel, the way they work, the way they parent, the way they think about their neighborhood, it could change the very fabric of the city. It might even change the world. Back when we started Redeemer, New York was the least religious city in America. Less than 1% of Center City New Yorkers attended a gospel-teaching church. Today, that number is 5% in the most secular city in America. A gospel movement is taking shape. We could be content with that. We could think, job well done. Or we could say, this story isn't over. Well, guess what? The story isn't over. In the next 10 years, we hope to see the body of Christ in Center City, New York, rise from 5% to 15%. That means tripling by 2026. And here's the thing. We think that just might represent a tipping point. A tipping point of gospel saturation that does more than just change lives. It helps the whole city flourish. But we don't simply want that for New York. Imagine for a moment what such a tipping point would mean for Hong Kong, Singapore, Taipei, Mumbai, Beijing, Tokyo, Seoul, Jakarta, Sydney, and the other great cities of Asia Pacific. This can't happen in New York by building a bigger Redeemer, and it can't happen in Asia Pacific simply through the churches already there. New churches are far more effective than existing churches at reaching the unchurched. We need new churches and new leaders popping up in every neighborhood across the cities of Asia Pacific. And we need you. We need you to stand up and say, I'm in.